morning, pilgrims, and how art thou on this beautiful, beautiful midweek day? Is that what they call hump day, I think? Yeah, Wednesday morning here in the Spice Isle. I'm George Grant, saying welcome to today's edition of Gudday Grenada. It's the 13th. Yeah, you know what today is, eh? Today's the big day, man. I don't know how many of you watched last night. I can tell you a lot of you were watching last night as former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Kenny Anthony, addressed a gathering. It wasn't a packed gathering per se, but there were quite a few people down there for the 4th March 13th lecture at the Trade Center. For those of you who may have missed it, it's up on our Facebook site, our Facebook page. It is also up on YouTube. And did I? Yeah, I did put it up on the GRENADABROADCAST.com website as well. So you can go check it out, check it out. All right. Now, let's forget about last night for just a minute and see what's cooking here today. How much will Grenada be giving to LIAT? That question is going to be answered this morning. The truth of the matter is, we don't know. We don't know. That's where we're going to get started this morning. But in addition to that, I have I have something I want to share with you. It's a release which I published on Grenada Broadcast last night. It was sent to me by Dr. Terrence Marichaux, formerly with the Maurice Bishop Patriotic Movement. And essentially, they're asking the question, is this whole big do about the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the revolution, is this a front for remnants of the Coard faction? I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. I'll read the release for you in just a wee bit and let you decide for yourself. Then we get into the national report. I can see you guys out there licking your lips. Well, we'll find out. And then, of course, this being a Wednesday morning, hey, Sherron's going to be with us, and I do expect that she's going to be sitting right here, so any minute now you should be hearing her mosey into the studio. All right? So that essentially is your rundown on this Wednesday morning. On the page here, on my little iPad off to my left here, I see that Pedro is also saying good morning. He's in Long Island today. We keep tabs on him, eh? Can't help it. Lets us know where he is. Your mom taught you very well, eh? Yeah, he's in Long Island this morning. Veronica Sandy is sending her blessings as always. And Margaret is present and on time. She snuck in last night or yesterday, but hey, good to see you, Max. Folks, the value of Grenada's contribution to LIAT, not yet determined. That's the caption for a statement that was put out yesterday by the GIS. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Keith Mitchell, confirmed on Tuesday that the value of Grenada's contribution to regional airline LIAT has not yet been decided. At Tuesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Dr. Mitchell confirmed also that government has received from LIAT an analysis of what Grenada's contribution should be. Underline, should be. He said that while government has agreed to pay some cash, he cannot say at this point in time that the number they have presented, which, by the way, is $487 100,000 US dollars. That's about, hey, 1.1, 1.2 million EC dollars. He cannot say that that's what would be given. He explained that they're doing an analysis before making the actual payment, which, by the way, will be done before the end of the month. Today is the 13th, so within the next 17 days or so, okay? But he could now say, he could not say, he said that Grenada would pay, okay? But he could not say what the specific amount will be. He gave the assurance that Grenada's actual contribution will be made public when it is finalized, when they decided how much they're going to give to LIAT. They will let us know. And he also noted, I thought this part very interesting, that a review of the current tax structure must be a part of the overall restructuring of LIAT's operations. He said that most of the cost of LIAT's tickets is based on taxes imposed by governments, including Grenada. These taxes must be reduced. Where have I heard that before? He said it is not fair to expect Grenada or any other country to subsidize the cost of flights when it includes massive taxes imposed by another country. He said that he has no difficulty in subsidizing, but it would not be under the present tax structure. We'll wait and see. And by the way, a committee has already been established to review the taxes. Okay? All right. Takes care of that. Now, told you about that release that I received from Dr. Terence Marichal yesterday. Not only is it published on the Grenada Broadcast website, I'm going to share it with you right now. It's captioned, "Affront for the Remnants of the Coard Faction." Listen to this. The Maurice Bishop and October 19, 1983 Martyrs Foundation wishes to clarify that we are not associated in any way, shape, or form with a so-called March 13th celebration committee. Any reference of any association with the committee is erroneous and misleading. For the record, and because there is some element of confusion about who are the ones organizing several activities advertised on radio and television around March 13th, we feel duty-bound to make this distinction so that the public would not be misled. That committee, as far as we're concerned, is nothing other than a front for the remnants of the Coard faction and those mainly responsible for many of the atrocities committed during the Revolution, and specifically the extremist actions that led to the untimely demise of the Revolution and the physical liquidation of Prime Minister Maurice Bishop and several of his cabinet colleagues and ordinary Grenadians. Today, 35 years after usurping power from the people, assassinating its finest leaders, and destroying the best experience we as Grenadians were having in developing our country, this group, just as they did 35 years ago, seeks once again to deceive the people into believing that they were the guardian and defenders of the revolution and not its destroyer. Their silence in upholding the ideals of the revolution in the last 31 years, until 4 years ago, was deafening. Now that the ground is favorable once again, thanks to the work done since 1983 through the Maurice Bishop Patriotic Movement and the Martyrs Foundation, their voices have become strong again. We call on the people never to be fooled by them again, for they are only wolves in sheep's clothing. The Maurice Bishop and October 19th Martyrs Foundation takes this opportunity to salute the 40th anniversary of the People's Revolution of 13th March 1979, which ushered in a period of unprecedented unity, economic growth, social progress, and community development, the likes of which were never seen in the history of our country. Were it not for its premature ending, Grenadians would have been celebrating 40 years of progress and prosperity rather than be commemorating the 40th anniversary of an ill-fated experience, faded memories, shattered dreams, and a nostalgia for what could have been. The lessons of that period are still very profound and should be properly recorded and taught in schools so that the present and future generations can draw from them as part of the overall Grenadian experience that has brought us to where we are today. For those who actively participated during its existence, there can be no doubts or regrets that despite its errors, it was the finest period of our independence. Bang. Full stop. Period. End. Dash 30 dash. Okay, that's a statement which was issued by the MBPM yesterday afternoon. If you want to review that, you can go to the website where you're at right now and check it out, because it's right there for your leisurely reading. Okay, let me get back here, boy. Let me get back here now. We got as far as Mags a little while ago. John is saying, GG and the worldly crew from you-know-where. Yeah, John. Do you consider us worldly, young man? You gotta be kidding. And by the way, he ain't no young man. I'm just flattering him. Okay. Hello, John. Good to see you, boy. Lydia James is saying, good morning. TF saying hello there, and so is Bernard. And, oh dear, George, not another committee, LIAT. Yes, I'm afraid. This one's to review the taxes. Mark the date, John. Let's see here, March 13th. Revolution Anniversary Day. Keep tabs. And when you hear the findings of that committee, would you kindly please let us know? Would appreciate that. Glenn Andrew Mark is saying, long live 40 years of our revolution. One love, eh? Lincoln Roberts, a day to remember, a great day to praise the Lord. God bless us all. Amen, Lincoln. And who else is here? Kipling says, God's blessings now and always. Well, pilgrims, 19 minutes after the hour. I'll tell you what, let's take a little break here and we'll come on back.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, neighbor.
Here's the bill I asked you to pay for me.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need. And we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs.
They burn less energy, right?
Much less. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
And Grenlec is always advising us not to open the fridge too often.
That's right. And my family washes and irons in bulk.
With fuel prices changing all the time, how do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
So while Grenada can't control fuel prices, I can conserve energy and save money.
GRENADA, energizing our Grenada.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Coard Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Multi-million-dollar hotel development project earmarked for St. David. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, March 12th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Range Developments, one of the leading hotel developers in the Caribbean, will be undertaking two major hotel projects in St. David in the range of $130 million. The project will feature two luxury five-star resorts, oceanfront villas, spas, retail and water sports facilities. The hotel project, once started, will create more than 600 jobs during construction and many more during operations. A press release from the developer says the luxury operator for the first resort will be announced in the coming days. In response to the news, Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell said, and I quote, "We are extremely delighted to welcome such an experienced hospitality developer to Grenada. Range Developments is well known for the high quality of its hotels and for the ability to deliver results in our region," unquote. Dr. Mitchell added that the government's policy is to bring investment and sustainable jobs to the country, and its partnership with Range Developments is irrefutable proof to this. The Prime Minister addressed the subject during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
They have already got the endorsement from the physical planning unit. They have bought the lands in St. David's already, both private and government lands. They are worked on already. And they're bringing two major projects to St. David's. And there is a big plus to this, because as you know, most of the major hotel and development activities that have been occurring in the country is in St. George's. So this is one on the eastern side of the country, two major hotels.
Range Developments is an international property developer focusing on high-end hotel resorts in the Caribbean that are well-designed, sustainable and desirable. Its flagship project, Park Hyatt St. Kitts, has been opened to guests since November 1st, 2017. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, has confirmed that the value of Grenada's contribution to regional airline LIAT has not yet been determined. At Tuesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Dr. Mitchell confirmed also that government has received from LIAT an analysis of what Grenada's contribution should be. He said, and I quote, "While we agreed to pay some cash, I cannot see at this point in time that the number they have presented, $487,000 is what Grenada would give. We are doing an analysis before we make the actual payment, which will be before the end of the month. We will pay, but I cannot tell you right now what the specific amount will be," unquote. CARICOM leaders were advised at their recent meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis that LIAT can go down based on its present situation.
If LIAT goes down and not able to travel, it's going to take some time before a new airline emerges. It will damage our economy and damage our country and create tremendous hardship for people. So it's not in our interest, given that we have seen a trend of change. It's not in our interest to see LIAT go down. So we have agreed that we will contribute to $5 million. We will have a cash injection. But it is based on certain factors. They have presented to us, based on the analysis they have done, what Grenada's contribution will be. While we agree to pay some cash, I cannot say at this point in time that the number they have presented, which is $487,000 US, is what Grenada would give. We are doing an analysis before I commit, and it will have to be before the end of the month.
The Prime Minister also noted that a review of the current tax structure must be part of the overall restructuring of LIAT's operations. He said, and I quote again, "Most of the cost of LIAT's tickets is based on taxes imposed by governments, including Grenada. We must reduce the taxes. It is not fair to expect Grenada or any other country to subsidize the cost of flights when it includes massive taxes imposed by another country. I have no difficulty subsidizing, but it would not be under the present tax structure," unquote. According to the Prime Minister, a committee has already been established. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
We say thank you to the Southern Zone for a very successful start to the National Secondary School Games. Now on Thursday, 14th March from 9 a.m., we head west side to the Cutman Peters Park in Gore for the Western Zone qualifiers. See Powerhouse, McDonald College, St. Mark's Secondary, St. John Christian Secondary, St. Rose Modern Secondary, Happy Hill Secondary, Grenada SDA Comprehensive, all competing for placement at the Grand Final to be held at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Friday, April 5th. All students present, past, and well-wishers, please come out to support the nation's children. Admission absolutely free for everyone. Now on Thursday, 14th March, National Secondary School Games, Western Zone. Your games, your future. Our nation's children still have a dream. The opportunity will shape their destiny. Thursday, 14th March.
They were welcomed home with a motorcade and concert organized by government and the Grenada Cultural Foundation after flying Grenada's flag at the International Soca Monarch in Trinidad. Now the local artists have been presented with awards by Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell. During the presentation, which was broadcast live on local media on Tuesday, Dr. Mitchell assured them that government, through the Ministries of Culture and Foreign Affairs, will assist them in every way possible to further promote their music.
I know sometimes the artists have personal challenges. At least one have been brought to my attention yesterday. We will work with you with respect to challenges you have. And one area of being a problem for artists is the question of getting visas to countries, which countries have their rules. But we will work with you as a government, the Ministry of Culture and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with the backing of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, will do what we have to do to ensure. So those of you who know you have those problems, know that I'm speaking to all of you in that respect. right? So they would know that if the government is backing you, we would not be backing anyone that would be a problem for their society, which is usually the reason why people turn you down from visas to their country. So I just want you to be aware of this.
Stating that he has received commendation from many leaders of the region on their behalf, Dr. Mitchell told the artists that all of Grenada is proud of their achievements.
You guys have done us all extremely proud, and the country image outside there internationally has been lifted. We have been having some major successes in many aspects of the life of the country and economy.
Each had the opportunity to talk about their experience and plans for the future.
We was on the battlefield and we did it, and all of us accomplished something great, not only for ourselves, but for our country, our nation, and for the rest of the world. You understand? So that we as soca artists could be appreciated outside there. You understand? Now the jab music is in a high. I must give Talpri his respect for what he have done, and everybody else who partake in getting us here today. You understand? Each and every one of them, because there is so much of people who have died, who have fought, Tangala, and the list goes on. You understand? Must say big up to Mr. Killer with Roly Poly. That was a big one that paved the way also for us, and I give thanks for that. You know what I mean? Songs like Sheldon, this is songs that actually paved the way. And Natty and Thunder must give them a special big up, because last year, I think the song what they did last year, also the combination with Marshall, I think that had a lot to do with what happened this year.
When I got the result in Soca Monarch, I was actually backstage crying because I know how far I have come. When they was calling my name on stage and I wasn't appearing on stage, I was actually backstage. Yeah, I was in tears actually. I was in tears. I was so happy, tears of joy, knowing what I've been through. And you see this thing called determination? Trust me, trust me, trust me. You just gotta keep pushing. Don't give up. Don't listen to what people have to say. Just be you, be yourself, go hard. All the young artists out there, all the youths, all the kids, stay in school, push hard, don't give up. There is nothing as you can't do it. Prove to them that you could do it, and this is what I did at the Soca Monarch in Trinidad.
I want to give thanks to the Prime Minister, for having us. Thank you for the honor, you know what I mean? To the people out there, the Carnival Committee, the media, fans, friends, artists, all of us. I think we had a very good unity over there. Like every time we meet, it's love and support and hugs, and you know what I mean? And I really like that. I appreciate that, So I want to say thanks to everybody, fans, the listeners, everybody, give thanks for everything.
Oh, God, thank you. Thanks to God and thanks to everybody that support us. Thanks to the Prime Minister for having us here. You know what I mean? Thanks to Mr. Killer for bringing the crown home. Yeah. We're not going to give it back. And then thanks for this too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for the love and the support over the years. You guys, and when I say you guys, I mean Grenada and the entire diaspora around the world, for making Vaughn who I am. And for this award, this one is not just for me. This is for my country. This is for my fans. This is for my people. And this is just the beginning of something great. And this will not be the first and the last. We have many more things to do as a group of artists, and also I will make it my duty to do much more for my country as an artist. Thank you.
The International Soca Monarch Hollis Map, Mr. Killer, stressed the importance of unity among soca artists and Calypsonians alike.
I sit here today as a cultural ambassador of my island, beautiful island, Grenada, sitting on the chair of the Honorable Dr. Kit Mitchell, the Prime Minister himself. Even this was a dream as a little boy, one day to meet the Prime Minister. Now I sit on his chair. What is life? Life is beautiful, it is great, and it is what you make of it. I want every youth out there, every little boy, every little girl, to take an example of this. Pay attention, follow the journey, and realize that we didn't turn to drugs, We didn't turn to violence. We didn't turn to crime. We didn't listen to when people say that you wouldn't make it and stay down. We continue striving for better, striving for good, and we remain positive in our mind, heart, and soul. And that has brought us success today.
Mr. Killer is currently preparing to return to the studio to start work for Spice Mass 2019 and to build tunes that he can successfully defend the ISM in 2020. Public Utilities Minister, the Honorable Gregory Bowen, says WRB, which holds 50% shares in Grenlec, could leave within the period for a decision by the tribunal. He was providing an update on the arbitration process between government and WRB during a meeting of the House of Representatives on Friday. Minister Bowen said Grenada government has not asked WRB to leave the country, and when it does, it will be doing so on its own.
The arbitration in question, all documents have been submitted. Lawyers have made their presentations, written presentation. WRB has its first. We responded. They placed the second. And now, by the 29th of March, the government must place its final submission. What I want to tell the people, Mr. Speaker, what is at stake here is WRB request, WRB demand to leave. So what the nation could expect is that within the time frame for a decision by the tribunal, that WRB will leave. Government has not asked them to leave. When they say they want to leave and sell, we tell them sell to whomsoever you wish. But they say, no, I want to know that they cannot find a buyer. I'm going to sell to you under certain conditions. And they're invoking the share purchase agreement signed in 1994 to force the government to buy it back. And if somebody does not want to remain with you, they've invested $30 million in Jamaica, so maybe they want to go to Jamaica. I think the workers and the nation must understand that they want to leave and they're forcing the government to leave. And it is not, people must not sit down and say, well, these people will be around for a long time. They will be going on their own volition and they're forcing the government for them to go. So that is the decision of the tribunal that will come up very soon, Mr. Speaker.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Alrighty, folks, just before we get to our friend, by the way, she is here. Almost had me soaking my diapers because I hadn't seen her. She's usually very early, but this morning got stuck in traffic. Spoke to her at about 9:20. She was down on Karani James Boulevard. Well, she finally made it here, so Sharon's going to be with us in just a wee bit. But first, I got to hear what you guys were bunging away on this morning with the GIS report. First of all, John out there in Carriacou is asking, are any of these five-star hotels ever filled? I don't know, John. I don't know. But I know that we seem to have 5 stars coming out of our ears. I'll tell you one thing. Because of my vantage point up here on Woolwich Road, I see pretty much every cruise ship that comes into town. And this year, we have been inundated with cruise ships. And not just cruise ships, but big, mumpy cruise ships, okay? Like this morning, There's a German one in here, the Aida Perla. She's in here with about 3,000. Okay. Now, having said that, I'm a little bit concerned because of an article which I read sometime last week, I think it was, about what's happening in Antigua. Antigua has a lot of cruise ship passengers. Well, it looks like that may not be the case anymore because Carnival Cruise Lines, the world's largest cruise line, has decided that they are pulling out of Antigua. Okay? Apparently, they've given no reason why they're pulling out, but apparently there's speculation that the Prime Minister of Antigua, Gaston Brown, I think it is, he must have ticked off Carnival by saying that the cruise lines are exploiting these islands of the Caribbean. So they have decided they're going to hightail it out of Antigua. Now, what's really worrying for a lot of people, especially the tourism officials in Antigua, is the fact that Carnival owns a lot of the other cruise lines that pull into Antigua, just like here. You know, you see the big Carnival ship, the red, white, and blue stack. Well, a lot of the other ships, a lot of the other cruise lines are owned by Carnival. So there's this fear that this could have a snowball effect, and eventually what you would see is the other cruise lines pulling out of Antigua as well, which would be a disaster already. They're estimating that they stand to lose over 200,000 visitors a year. 200,000 visitors. Let's wait and see what happens. And that's why these folks here had better be very careful when they make comments, okay? I'm not saying bow to the cruise lines. I worked with them for a lot of years, okay? I ain't saying bow to them. I'm just saying be on guard. Because I have gotten into their minds. I've talked with a lot of their executives, and I understand the kind of people they are. Word to the wise. Now, Peter Bishop is saying, at last, a major hotel for St. David's. Jobs galore. Yeah. You applying for what, Peter? Joycey Smith says, hotels again? How about the hospitals and the roads? Oh, my God. Help the people of Grenada. Good point, Joycey. I think you better put that in writing. Good luck. John says, LIAT, if and when the fiscal space allows. Sarcastic. Yeah. Peter says, job you want, job you will get. Yeah, Pedro. Margaret says, yeah, I understand. Those of you who watch the newscast know what Margaret is referring to. Go on back, take a look. Peter Bishop says the PM presents them with awards. He's talking about the winners from the Soca Monarch competition, that big dude. The PM presents them with awards. Is it the Dr. Mitchell Award? Glenn Andrew Mark says, good question, Peter. Joycey Smith says, I will be visiting Grenada soon, and I will have to be very careful that someone don't take me and run. Very creative, Joycey. They might take you and run with you, right? You don't even smile there, Sharon, because you might be next in line. Claire Palmer is saying good morning and sending St. Vincent greetings to the people of Grenada. Well, hello there, Claire. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you see our good friend, Mr. Jerry George, say hi to him for me, please. And while you're at it, you could say hi to Ralphie. Peter Bishop says, Bowen, you can... Oh, by the way, before we move away from the Calypsonians, have you noticed everybody this morning wearing dark sunglasses? Did you notice that? That's, mark my words for it, that's going to be the new fad on the streets here. So, Mags, when you're coming down, please, I want to keep up with these guys. Bring me a nice pair of dark sunglasses, but I want those that they kind of shine at you like cat eyes, you know? You know the ones I'm talking about? Yeah? Bring me a nice pair of sunglasses. I'm just joking, kid. Just joking. Bowen, you can only fool only those who drink the green Kool-Aid. The truth needs no company. Margaret says, remembering the days when load shedding was a well-known part of the Grenadian vocabulary? Just saying. Yeah, they're talking about that story with Mr. Bowen there this morning. Fitzroy is saying good morning, and John is saying here, so much for the dry season. It's pouring down here. Well, good for you. You're up there, John. You're north of us, so you're up, okay? Bernard Gilbert is saying 6-star, please. Claire Antoine, hi from Birmingham in the UK. Well, hello, Birmingham. Nice to see you. Veronica says, I think glasses are a fashion statement. You ain't kidding, Veronica. I noticed these guys. You know what puzzles me? When you looked at that a little while ago, they were inside a building. I'm pretty sure that was the Ministry of Works building. That's where they usually hold the post-cabinet briefings. What the hell is everybody wearing sunglasses for in the building? I couldn't help but notice that. Anyhow, young at heart, I'm just jealous. Margaret says, right on it. Yeah, she's going to get me sunglasses. Mags, that was the only kid. Don't put yourself in expense to make George look like a perfect idiot. I could use sunglasses because my eyes are starting to, old age, but never mind. Anyhow, that's going to do it. Let me take a little break here and get to our friend Sherron. Alrighty, folks, it's now, let's say, hey, coming up here on 9:46, 14 minutes away from 10 o'clock. There she is. Miss St. Paul's, Pitty Martinique. Hello, Sharon. How are you this morning?
Good morning, George. I am good.
So you got stuck in traffic?
Gosh, I can't believe this. Going down to St. George University, there was so much traffic we had to go through Woodlands area.
Yeah.
And coming back up, it was ridiculous. Bumper to bumper. Don't know where all these vehicles coming from.
I don't know, boy. It's something's got to be done. But please, I don't know what's going to be done. I don't have any ideas, but something's got to be done. It's horrendous. So, what do you have up your sleeve this morning, young lady?
Well, there was so much rain last night and this morning in St. Paul's that I've decided that when I leave here, I'm going to go do some gardening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just softened up so my herb garden. I'm going to be doing some
What are you planting?
replanting. Well, I have a lot of herbs. You name it, I have it. So yesterday I went to get something they call guayamba.
Guayamba?
Yes,
What
it's the leaves look like tamarind leaves almost, but under it are little seeds, and you use it to control diabetes. And the last couple of days, I found that my blood sugar was a bit on the high side, so I went to pick some leaves yesterday, and I noticed I have a little problem with millibug. It looks like. So I'm going to be pulling everything and replanting and having to treat the soil and get rid of it before it gets any worse.
How do you use this thing for diabetes? Because I'm
The
diabetic.
guayamba. Well, you just pull the leaves and you don't boil it. You pour the hot water over it. Just a good little handful, about the size of a cigarette. And you pour the hot water over it and you drink it, and it's supposed to lower it. But remember, I'm from Martinique, so old people say when you're doing things like that, you use 3. So I've been using the guayamba, the shadow benny, and garlic. And I just put them in a small pot, and I pour the hot water, leave it to sip for about 5 minutes, and drink it. And about 15 minutes later, I would check my blood sugar, and
it's down.
normally it goes down.
Really? Wow, that's interesting. My blood sugar seems to be under control, but nevertheless, I am diabetic, and I try to watch what I eat. But believe me, I ain't gonna kill myself going on all these diets. Don't eat this, don't eat that, do. Yeah.
Right. When you think about all the things they tell you don't eat, you
Kill
could
you.
starve.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, John out there in Carriacou is listening to you, and he's you were talking about traffic. He says 5 cars in Petit Martinique is a traffic jam, Sharon.
It's true. That is true, because growing up we had 0. And now when I go up there, I say they have too many. They have about 5.
About 5 cars?
Yeah. And that's a lot. I'm not checking the dumper trucks that they use to transport stuff.
Garbage and stuff.
Well, groceries, and when you have very big bags, like if you come from abroad and you have a couple suitcases, and so you have to get a dumper truck to bring it.
A dumper truck?
Yeah. That's what they had before they had cars.
Okay.
Yeah, to move blocks, like if you're building and stuff, that's what you use. So
I guess Petit Martinique has never seen a bulldozer.
Bulldozer? I'm not too sure.
You
never know.
You know what a bulldozer is?
I know what a bulldozer I know what a bulldozer is. And some years ago, Mr. Nimrod, for political reasons, brought up a fire truck. And it was sitting there, never got used, and eventually they took it back to Carriacou. I think they used it once. And they took it back to Carriacou.
All right. Margaret says, an efficient and reliable public transportation service should help solve that traffic jam problem. What say you?
I think one of the problems, all these, how you call it, the second-hand cars that
Scuttles.
right? And it's a little cheaper, not much, but a little cheaper than the new cars. And people who pass, every day you see learners on the road. Everybody want to learn to drive, and they learning to drive in these tiny little cars. And as soon as they get their license, they buy this big SUVs. And that's one of the issues.
You know, you hardly see cars per se on the road anymore. Everything is an SUV nowadays.
That's right, including mine.
Well, there you go. Look, Margaret, hey, I agree with you that a reliable public transportation service should help, okay? Now, essentially, we have a very effective minibus service here, especially in the southern part of the island. They're really effective. The problem is the mindset of the drivers, the people who sit behind those wheels. I mean, I have often told people this. Where I live here on Woolwich Road, right at the junction of Woolwich Road and Lucas Street, in the morning, rush hour, it's supposed to be only one way. People never pay attention to that. You stand on my balcony here and you will learn obscene words that you have never heard in your life because of the mindset, the attitude of people. People stop in the road to pick up somebody. You want to stop and pick up somebody? Pull over on the side.
Exactly.
But you have to stop in the middle of the road. Attitude.
But you know, not only the bus drivers doing it, because this morning I was coming down from St. Paul's. My husband was driving, and somebody stopped to give somebody else a lift just over Montparnasse area, in the middle of the road.
Exactly.
You know, so they don't even pull aside to allow the person behind them to pass. They mean like, wait on me when I'm finished. Brap in the middle of the road, and traffic, you can't pass them, and nobody else could pass. You know, and that is really ridiculous. Another thing, they pay no attention to, you know, there's a rule that says if the obstacle is on your side, you have to wait and give the clear traffic.
That's right.
They pay no attention to that. They're coming through, and you just have to wait until they...
And, you know, and then you hear all the rhetoric coming from the traffic department. Oh, please, cut that crap. Margaret says, also, when one is planning development, you have to take into consideration traffic flows. Over the years, there has been rapid development in the South without any thought going into those kinds of things. And it's true.
That's so true.
Well, Mags, you know it, I know it, and the rest of you know it. How come our authorities don't know it?
It's simple, George. They don't care. They couldn't care less.
And they don't know that they don't know.
You know what that means.
Oh, my girl. All right. Anyhow, I think that's another story.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on a second. Margaret says, agreed. Again, you're talking about enforcement. What Marg, what enforcement? Please, get a life.
But you know the biggest traffic jam...
She says, during peak travel, the police should be out in full force.
Well, I was just about to tell you. The biggest traffic jam is when you have a police out there say they're keeping traffic. When there is not a police, the people know one in, one out, and the traffic flows. The worst traffic jam is when you have a police out there and they're stopping a whole line of traffic and they call in, and if they happen to see one of their friends, they stop that one and they allow their friend to pass. And that is the nonsense they're going. This morning, in the junction by Regal Cinema, in the bottom of the gardens there, when we saw traffic pile up way up past high school, I tell them, I said, you pass through the ministry. When we come through the ministry, a policewoman keeping traffic. And without them, the traffic flow very easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know about getting the police out there in force.
Yeah. Enforcement. I mean, that's just laughable, and it's not just in traffic. So many different areas in our society. Every time something drops in our brain, we go to Parliament and we create a law. Just create a law. We have more laws than you could ever hope to imagine. Do we enforce them? Nah.
I want to say something about an open letter I saw earlier in the week about a gentleman who is leaving Grenada after he tried
Has
this
left.
and that. Has left. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the government, but I have been in a position where I have seen so much disrespect of our local people, of our prime minister, by these people who come,
Investors?
by investors, so-called investors, and sometimes they just come from their country and they decide, oh, I like the climate here, it's nice and warm, and brap, they want to set up, and they want to change the culture and make us more efficient, and they want to do this for us and do that for us. And I am not saying that is what that guy did.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I have seen firsthand. I have been the political advisor to the US government for 13 years. And in the time, I have seen so much disrespect for our prime minister, and I'm talking about the position and things. So I remember one young lady from USAID come in and we had a meeting, and when the meeting was finished, she said, I'm going up to see the Prime Minister. I said, do you have an appointment? She said, no, it's not that he is the President of France or nothing. I said he is our President of France.
Yes.
You know, and I made sure that things like that don't happen. I see the same person called Minister Hood, Brenda Hood. We're at a meeting and she calls her Brenda. And something the minister was saying, and she interrupted her and said, Brenda, that's not the way it's at. So I told her after, I said, you don't speak to the minister like that. You have to show a little more respect than that. Oh, but she's just so and so. I said, no. If she's your friend and behind the public, you want to call her Brenda or call her by whatever name, that is your business. But when you're in public, you show respect. And I wrote up a memo saying when you're addressing the Prime Minister, you call him this name. When you're addressing the minister, you say this, and you know, just as a guideline. And one of the superiors asked, Sherron, what happened? Did somebody slip up? And you wouldn't believe the person who did that was the first to say, no, she's just reminding us. I have seen so much disrespect by these people that when somebody come out like that letter and say, I'm like,
Yeah.
You don't get your own way, sour grapes. I'm not saying that is what happened to this person because I do not know them.
You're right. I've seen it myself.
But yes, we have to remember, no matter how you feel about Keith Mitchell per se, you have to have respect for the position. No matter what he's doing, have respect for the position, because a couple of years down the line, you might be Prime Minister, and sometimes you're doing things that people don't understand why you do it and how you do it. And there's a protocol for everything. So, just saying.
You know, Sherron, I'm sure you remember in the recent past, there's been quite an outcry about, quote, foreign investors in this place. I mean, anytime you heard about a foreign investor, people's blood pressure just went up, and we heard all sorts of stuff. And there's a reason why that backlash came. It's because of the attitude of some of these foreign investors. You know, they come here and they want to call the shots. You have to be subservient to them. And
exactly.
That is a reality. I don't care what anybody says. It's a reality. I know.
It's true.
I know. And by the way, Margaret says here, agreed, Sharon.
Thank you, Mags.
Yeah. So
they want to fix us,
yes.
and they have this mentality. And I had that problem in Pittermartinick. You know, Pittermartinick wedding is a big thing, a 2-week event. From the time you start to make the cake, as a matter of fact, from the time they fix the date of the wedding, you see red flags going up on the houses to symbolize somebody from this family getting married.
Really?
Oh yes.
To this day?
Of course. So when you approach Pittermartinick and you see a red flag, the first thing you say is, "Hey, have a wedding coming up."
Okay.
And a certain priest. Now, the day of the wedding is a big thing. We have the meeting up at the cake and the dancing at the flag and all this sort of thing. And then you go to the church eventually and think, one of these days I'm going to go through the whole thing slowly for you.
Okay.
But this priest came and decided he wanted to change the culture. And this thing about meeting up cake and dancing flag, you have to cut all that out. And he refused to do a wedding that would have that. Well, Papa, where is he now? All hell break loose. And he came to me, and at the time I was coordinator for Pittermartinick Affairs, and he said, "You need to explain to the people that this is the way I want it." I said, "You came and you met it like that, and you would go and leave it like that." It wasn't long after he was gone.
Yeah.
So you can't just come and try to change people and take over. You would come up to people like me who would say, "Hell no."
Yeah.
And then you have to go.
Sharon, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. But the issue is on both sides. I mean, some of the stuff that gentleman mentioned in his article, bang on the money.
That is true. That is true.
But that does not give you the right to, be sort of condescending.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, my dear. Let me see who was there. That's it, everybody. You guys are getting quiet now? Okay. Tell you what. Let me take a quick little break. Thanks, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Go grab some stuff. What are we going to do? People want pictures from us, Sharon. We have to hit the road, girl.
Boy.
We're going to hit the road. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, we're going to hit the road. All right. There goes Sharon. And I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a quick little break here now. Hold on. Pele, hello. We're seeing a lot of this. You know a guy named Pele Darbo?
Yes.
Pele Darbo saying, "Good morning. This Pittermartinick wedding is steeped in tradition."
Exactly.
That's where you got married?
No.
I'm only kidding. No.
But I don't think he has Pittermartinick roots, but he was very close to the Primes, and they're from Carriacou, and they are very close to us. As a matter of fact, Mrs. Prime has roots in Pittermartinick. So I think Pele grew up near to them or with them, so he knows some of the traditions.
Okay. Good to see you, Pele. And then, hold on a second, Margaret is saying, "But that is what religion has done to all indigenous cultures when they come in."
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
She sung like my twin.
You hear that, Max? Boy, I can't wait for the day when the three of us really sit down and have a little tete-a-tete, Pittermartinick or wherever. Pilgrims, thanks again, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Take a break.
With free island-wide delivery, Hubbard's Building Supplies and Lumber Departments continue to provide the best quality lumber, steel, tiles, plumbing materials, electrical, and general hardware supplies at competitive prices. We continually consult with builders, homeowners, and contractors to improve product range and services. Enjoy discounts where applicable, including the use of credit and debit cards. At Hubbard's Building Supplies, Grandance, and Lumber Department, Caranage, we offer quality service, affordable prices, giving you the convenient, reliable, free island-wide delivery. Call 440-2087 for all your home improvement and building solutions.
I'm always on the move. training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Coard Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank. And there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
All right. Yeah. We're just having a little chat about last night's Kenny Anthony presentation. Reminder, it's up on Facebook. It's up on Grenada Broadcast. It's up on YouTube, all over the place. Check it out. Pilgrims, once again, as we're about to pull the curtain down, I have to leave you with something positive. Always, always, always. Today's inspirational words come to you from the book of Psalms, one of my favorite Psalms of all time, Psalm 37, verses 4 to 9, which says, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil. For those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land." Heard me? Psalm 37, 4 to 9. Check it out. Just check out the entire psalm, okay? That's going to do it, Pilgrims. Yeah. Let Georgie punch up his little thing here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Good week, eh? We had Valerie. No, we didn't have Valerie on Monday. Yesterday we had Ray. Today we had Sherron. Tomorrow, guess who? Bung away. AB is going to be in here tomorrow. Well, with us, remotely or in person, I don't know. So in the meantime, I'm going to send you God's blessings and by his grace. See you tomorrow morning at 9.